Okay, let's talk about a subject that kind of gets overlooked a lot of times and really isn't talked about. We're going to be speaking on basic tools that you need on your journey in watch collecting. This is also a list of good ideas if you know somebody that's into watches, but you don't have the money or you don't want to give them an expensive watch. These are great items to gift them because these are basic needs for any watch collector and they're not too pricey. So we'll get into it, but before I do that, wristwatch check. I do have the Proxima Skin Diver on. Kind of been wearing this for the last few weeks. Just keep an eye out for the review on this, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But let's go back to the tools and basic watch nerd needs here. The first one and more basic one is a watch box. I can't really zoom out because the watch box is a little bit too close to my desk here, but basically this is a 10 slot watch box, and these things start out anywhere from $20 on up, depending on the materials used and how many watches it can hold. They can go on up to $200, $300. There's some for 50 bucks, 100 bucks. Just depends on your budget and what you want it to look like and the materials used. Like I said, this is a basic 10 slot watch box. It's not too fancy. This one in particular is about $30. I do have a piece of white paper here. There is a plastic, see-through plastic, so you can see your watch box. It's actually a nice presentation, and this one was actually customized with my initials here in the middle. The only reason why I have this piece of paper here is so you guys don't see the watches that I'm going to review later on. I have a few in here that are coming up. I'm coming up with videos on them, so I just didn't kind of want to spoil the videos coming forward. But the more important thing, instead of the watch box size to pay attention to, is the pillows used, the materials on the inside. You want a pillow that is holds its structure but is soft in the middle. A lot of cheap watch boxes will have just soft pillows with no structure to them, and what will happen is they would get squished and then your watch will just kind of slide around anyways. This one in particular I picked up in Amazon, like I said, and it was around 30 bucks, but this has held its structure fairly well, so the watch does not slide in or slide around and bang up against other ones. The watch boxes do have dividers in them, but if they slide around, if they're big enough, they will hit each other. So just to keep an eye out, like I said, this is a more important feature on the watch box, is a good pillow, receive structure. And a quick little tip as well is I keep these in the watch box. These are packets that absorb moisture. You will find these when you buy shoes, when you buy clothes sometimes, and they're in jacket pockets and things of that nature. I take them out and I put them in my watch box. This is just a little tip, just in case you get any type of moisture. Although your watches are waterproof, mine are usually 100 meters or up. I just do that just in case. You know, you get obsessive with your watches. You want them to be in pristine condition. This is just a little tip, and I just keep them in there, help them keep them dry. So sticking on that, another basic tool or another basic item you will need on your watch collecting journey is a tool set. This is a basic tool set that you can find anywhere online, Amazon, eBay. These will start out right around the $20 range, depending on what they contain, and they will go up from there. I don't recommend spending more than 50 bucks just for a basic tool set. I mean, once you go along further into the rabbit hole, you start getting better tools and better items. But just for the beginning, this is a great set. Comes with everything you need to change watch bands. These items here that I'm holding, I picked up as I went along. This is a case back remover for quartz watches that don't have screw-in case backs, or you can pop out bezels with this thing. Actually a real handy tool. You don't scratch up your watch while doing that. This is a case holder just to get a better grip when you're taking out screw down case backs. And like I said, but though you don't need these in the beginning, there are tool sets that come with them. They're a little bit more pricey, but as you keep going into your journey, you just pick up more items and you just throw them in here. And but just get the basic one, 20 bucks. Great thing to have. You start doing your own little DIY projects with your watches, and it's just a great feeling, and it's a great basic thing to have around if you're into watches. Keeping with the tools, let's get into these. This is a little bit kind of picking up where that basic tool watch set left off. These are screwdrivers that fit most screws that are focused on your watch bands. So anything that are included in watch bands, these will usually fit them. Usually the screws in the case back as well, when they have little screws, these will do it. These will do the job. And the reason why you want this instead of the ones that come in the basic tool kit is these are way better quality. These are made in Germany. I can't pronounce the name of the brand, but it's right here. These are about 20 bucks for the set here. So they are a little bit more expensive. I think they're $25. But these will not, these will retain their shape. They will not break off for the most part unless you put tremendous amount of pressure. These came in really handy with those double screw ends on the watch bands. I was trying to change the Hellson Shark Diver. I'll tell you, you cannot do it with those basic screwdrivers. That thing was a mess to do. I did it eventually because I had the right set of tools, but it still was a pain in the butt. But these get the job done. I think this is overlooked. A lot of people do not get better screwdrivers, but these will save you a headache, because these will not scratch your watch, because they usually won't slip or they won't chip off and break and you won't scratch your watch. So I recommend the further you are down the rabbit hole, you pick a set of these up. It could be another brand, but make sure it's a better set of tools. Keeping with the tool theme, here is a measuring tool here. This is used in a bunch of different industries. I know it from the automotive industry. They will measure brake calipers with this. This measures basically thickness. But this comes in real handy if you are a watch nerd. This is another kind of cheap tool. It starts around 10 bucks. This one in particular, I think I picked it up on Amazon for $12. It's plastic. It's plastic tips, so I wouldn't scratch my watch, and I still put tape over it just as another added layer of security. So when I measure stuff, I don't scratch it. Basically what you do with this, in case you don't know, is you take your watch here and you can measure thickness of a watch. So it'll give you the thickness, and this is great because sometimes the further you go down the rabbit hole, the more watches you get and the more little fine minute details you will forget. So this is a great tool to have around in case you forget the band size of your watch. You can just grab it here and then you can just measure the band. This should be a 20 millimeter band. I hadn't zeroed it out, so you zero it out first. Then you just measure your band here, 20 millimeter. And then you know exactly, okay, well, if I want to buy a leather band for this watch that I hadn't worn in 3 months, I need to buy a 20 millimeter watch band. Great thing to have, another cheap tool, must-have item. Just like I said, the more watches you get, the more you forget about all the little minute details. Another great tool to have is a demagnetizer. These things are available again on Amazon, eBay. I'm just gonna stop saying that because that's where I pick most of these items up anyways. These are available anywhere around 14 to 20 bucks. Simple thing, you just plug this into your outlet, you put your watch on top, you will turn it on, hold it there for about 10 seconds. This light will be on when you're pressing it. You got to press it and hold it there for about 10 seconds with the dial facing upwards, and then you just pick up, don't let go, just pick it up all the way up, and then once it's completely off the demagnetizer, just release it, and then your watch should be demagnetized. This is great because a lot of our items, laptops, microwaves, all that type of stuff will eventually magnetize your watch, your automatic watches, and even quartz watches, and they will start running either slower or faster. They just mess up the timing of the watches. So this will help keep and maintain your watches. It's not expensive, great basic tool to have, just so you can keep a little bit longer from your servicing, just so everything runs smooth in between those increments. So great little tool there. Another great thing to have is a travel box. So you can't travel around with your whole watch box. It's too bulky, it's too big, and it's not actually that protective for a watch. This is what I carry when I travel, and I bought this one in particular because usually I don't know which watch I want to wear. So I bought the 3 watch. The WatchPod actually makes a single, a double, and this triple one. The single one starts around $15. The double goes anywhere around 27 bucks. I'm sorry, the double goes around $24, and the triple one goes around 27. That's around what I paid for mine. This is great because it comes with foam, and they're completely separate for your watches. So this is great because they don't bang against each other no matter what size watch they are, because they will lay sideways. So what you do is, for a thicker watch, you take this foam on one side off, and if it's huge, you would take off both sides, and it should fit. I mean, unless you have some type of like 80 millimeter Invicta, then maybe you don't need this, and maybe you should just wear it, you know, wear your boat anchor and then keep going. And I'm not bashing on Invicta in particular. I mean, I've seen other brands as well that have huge watches that are very bulky and heavy, but yeah, to each their own on that. But this is great because it is well constructed. It is actually a hard material, but it's yet lined with soft material, so it won't scratch your watches up. Like I said, it has enough space in between them so they don't bang up. And it is, once they're in here, you zip it up and they are completely sealed. You can throw this in a suitcase, in a bag, and you don't have to worry about your watches getting banged up. This in particular, I want to emphasize, I do recommend the WatchPod brand. I have seen others that look like this, but they will become undone, and the material on the top that it's lined with will come off. I haven't purchased the other ones. I have just seen other people that bought the cheaper versions. It just, the quality sucks. This is head and shoulders above the competition or the look-alike. I recommend, and it's not that much different too. I think the single one goes for like 10 bucks, where you can get the actual WatchPod brand for 15. So I mean, yeah, there is a difference in the price, but it's not much compared to what you get. This one I recommend, stick to the name brand. Last but not least on this list, it is a bunch of watch bands. You can get watch bands anywhere for around 10 bucks, all the way up to $100 if you really want to go crazy. Here I just have an assortment of random watch bands that I have. This I believe I picked up from AliExpress. It is a tropical rubber strap. It's actually very soft and very actually well made. Quick spring bars here on the top. It is a great little watch band. Any type of NATO strap. And don't get, these aren't too expensive, so don't get too much into, I am not a particular NATO junkie, but I have a bunch of NATOs, different styles and different colors, because they're not too expensive anyways, and you don't know when you will pick up a watch that will look great on a NATO and feel at home at it. So I like to keep everything diverse, because this isn't too expensive for the most part. You can pick up NATOs for 10 bucks. I believe I picked this one up for about $8 as well from AliExpress. This one I picked up, I think it's a Barton strap. As you can see on my NATOs, I cut the back off because there's usually a second layer of cloth of fabric that will keep it supposedly held in place. I don't like it. I think it adds too much bulk, so I cut it off. I have a cheap bungee style watch band that I haven't even used. I just bought it because I wanted to try it out first, see if I liked it. Haven't even worn it yet. Here I have a Ritchie's vintage style leather. I'm not big into leather, but like I said, I like to keep one around because I think it looks good on some watches. So I think I'm going to try it out with this Proxima diver. So this is a great little thing to have. Just like I said, variety. You never know what type of watch you're gonna get. Even metal bands. This is about 25 bucks. I bought this one on Amazon. I don't even remember the brand name, but this is actually a very, very nice wearing band. Very soft. It just hugs the wrist. Very comfortable. I think it's all those little links. It's just kind of like the shark mesh. So this is very cool. I had that on a solar tuna and it looked great. Or you can go a little bit more premium. This is a premium Italian band. This will run you around 40 to 50 bucks here, but this smells like vanilla. It retains its shape. It does not, I mean, it flexes very well, but it's still sturdy as heck. It's thick, but it's not too thick. It is just enough to maintain its structure, maintain its flexibility. The clasp, that's another big thing too. When you buy a cheap band, the clasp might feel flimsy. This is a well-constructed but basic watch clasp. It is not milled, it is stamped, but you can hear and feel the click. So I recommend this for a higher priced item, anything around $200 and up. If you want a rubber strap, I love these things. I hate the extra material that comes up on the 12 o'clock position when it's all strapped in. I like how this gives you a seamless look. You do have to cut these. They are, I forgot the brand name. It's like it's an Italian brand. I will post it in the description, but this is, I'm sorry, in the comments, but this is worth, I think, every penny of it, even though it is a little bit more expensive. That's all I got for this one. I wanted to share these items with you guys because I think this is a great gift idea for anybody that's trying to give something for a watch nerd or a watch person. These are all great items to have, and if you are a watch person yourself, these are, I think, basic tools you need on your watch journey. You can go deeper into it with hand removal tools and all this other stuff, but this is your basic needs that will take care of, I think, 95% of, or even 99% of what you will do. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys think I missed any basic tools or any basic gifts, let me know in the comments. Catch you guys on the next one.